Hey there. Welcome back to English with Real Mystery. Here, you learn English with real and strange stories. Today's question is, can a mummy get a passport? It sounds funny, right? But in 1976, this really happened. An old Egyptian mummy got a real passport, and not just any mummy. It was Ramses II, a very famous pharaoh. He was a king in Egypt over 3,000 years ago. His body was found many years ago. It was in a museum in Cairo. But after some time, scientists saw a problem. The body was getting damaged by bacteria, so they wanted to send him to Paris for help. But there was a new problem. The French government said, no passport, no entry. Even for a mummy. Why did they do this? Why did French law need a passport for a mummy? And what happened when the mummy arrived in Paris? Let's find out. And while you listen, you will also learn new English words. And hey, if you like this story, please support me. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. Are you ready? Let's begin the story of the mummy with a passport. Hey, let me ask you something. Have you ever needed a passport to travel? Of course you have. It's normal, right? But what if I told you that a mummy needed one too? Yes, a real mummy. And not just any mummy. We're talking about Ramses II, one of the most powerful kings in ancient Egypt. He ruled over 3,000 years ago. He built temples, fought wars. He ruled Egypt for 66 years, longer than almost any other pharaoh. A pharaoh is a king of ancient Egypt. He built famous temples like Abu Simbel, using thousands of workers. He led many battles, including the famous Battle of Kadesh. After that war, he signed the first known peace treaty in the world. Many people in Egypt believed he was more than a king. People believed he was a god on earth. He had a large family, with over 100 sons and daughters. Today, his statues and temples still stand in Egypt. Historians and scientists continue to study his life and his mummy. But in the 1970s, something very strange happened. Egypt had a problem. Ramses's body, now a mummy, was in danger. His body was rotting. Rotting means slowly falling apart. They had to act fast. But in Egypt, the scientists didn't have the tools. So they said, let's send him to Paris. Now here comes the crazy part. The French government said, fine, you can bring him, but he needs a passport. Wait, what? A mummy needs a passport? Yes. No exceptions. Not even for a pharaoh. So Egypt made one, a real official passport. And guess what they used for the photo? The mummy's face. Sounds like a joke, right? But it really happened. But it was serious. French law said every traveler needs a passport. Even a 3,000-year-old mummy. So what happened next? The plane arrived in Paris. It was a special flight. No other passengers, just Ramses, very quiet traveler. At the airport, soldiers were waiting. Not for protection, but to show respect. Yes, Ramses received a royal welcome, like a real king, with music, with flags, with honor. Even though he was dead, France treated him like a VIP. VIP means very important person. Why? Because Ramses wasn't just history. He was a national treasure, and his body needed help. Ramses' body had a problem. Even though he was a mummy, his skin was breaking, his hair was falling, and scientists found something scary. Tiny insects were living inside his body. Yes, real bugs. They were slowly destroying the mummy. In 1976, French scientists welcomed Ramses, but not in a museum. They took him to a lab, a science laboratory. This was a very special mission. Doctors, researchers, and mummy experts worked together. They looked at his skin, bones, and hair. They used lights, microscopes, and soft brushes. For 7 months, the team worked hard. They cleaned the mummy. They removed the insects. They used chemicals to protect the body. And then, they made a strange discovery. They saw small marks on Ramses' skin. Very small. Almost invisible. One scientist said, "These look like signs of a skin disease." It was something like a rash or infection. Maybe Ramses had a health problem before he died. And maybe it stayed in his body for 3,000 years. Isn't that amazing? This became one of the oldest medical cases in the world, and Ramses became not just a mummy, but also a patient in modern science. What happened next? Okay, so Ramses II got medical help in Paris. The scientists saved his body. They stopped the insects. They protected his skin. And they gave his mummy a second life. But now, it was time to go home, back to Egypt. This made Ramses the first mummy in history with a passport. And that passport? It's real. You can find pictures of it online. So, Ramses went back to Egypt. He got a hero's welcome. And today, you can still visit him in the National Museum of Egyptian Civilization in Cairo. But think about it. A king who died 3,000 years ago got a passport, flew to France, met scientists, and helped the world learn more about ancient Egypt. And that's not just history. That's a real mystery. With a real passport. Thanks for watching English with Real Mystery. See you in the next episode.